Hi everybody, I'm Andrea and welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today I'm going to be talking about my TBR for Latinx-A-Thon. If you don't know what that is, Latinx-A-Thon is a 10-day readathon that I'm hosting with a few of my friends here on BookTube to read and celebrate Latinx literature. But before I do all of that, I quickly wanted to mention two really exciting things that are going to be happening soon for our readathon. So the first is that we will be hosting a live show on September 8th on this channel right here to talk about our upcoming readathon, and the second one is really cool, and that is that on October 3rd at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time we're going to be having a Q&A with Alexandra Villasante, who is the writer of The Grief Keeper, over on our Twitter, which is at Latinx-A-Thon. So definitely keep an eye out for more updates for that on there, and we're really excited to ask her about her book and all that kind of stuff. So one of our extra bonus challenges that we gave ourselves this year was picking books that were by authors of different heritages for each prompt, and I definitely tried doing that. So for the first prompt of Voices, which is reading a book by an Afro-Latinx or Indigenous author, I chose an Elizabeth Acevedo book, but I tried choosing one that was a little bit lesser known, and that is called Beast Girl and Other Origin Myths, which was published in 2016, I believe, and it's a short poetry collection of folkloric poems centered on the historical, mythological, gendered, and geographic experiences of first-generation American women, and I myself am first generation, so I'm super excited to read about my similar experiences through the lens of folklore. For the second prompt of Latinidad, which is choosing an intersectional Latinx author, I went with a memoir, and it's called A Cup of Water Underneath My Bed by Dv Hernandez, and she is bisexual and queer, and this book is a nonfiction about what the woman in her life had taught her about family and love and community and money and race. And the prose in this book is described as lyrical. For the next prompt of Roots, which is reading a book that was translated or a book featuring more than one language in it, I went with two books because I thought they both sounded so amazing and fun, and I really wanted to squeeze both of them in for this readathon. And the first one is called Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin, and she's an Argentinian author, and in Spanish this book is called Distancia de Rescate, and it's described as like kind of this surreal, psychological, unsettling, and atmospheric horror book. And I'm really excited because it's inspired by the agri-chemical and environmental ecological problems in Argentina and Latin America. And the story has two speakers. It stars a young woman named Amanda who's dying inside of a small hospital, and a boy called David who's sitting beside her, and it's just a back and forth between them two. And the second book, I'm really excited because it actually came in early, and it is called Antigona Gonzalez by Sara Uribe, and she's a Mexican author, and this book is inspired by the play by Sophocles, Antigone. So the main character is Antigona Gonzalez, and her brother Tadeo is missing in Mexico, in Tamaulipas, and that is the state with the highest number of missing people in Mexico, and it's set against the drug war. It incorporates language from news bulletins, blogs, e-letters, and first-person narratives to link the personal and systemic accounts of the lost and found. And this was actually inspired by the San Fernando mass grave that they found in 2011, I believe. And what I like about this book is that it is Spanish on one side, English on the other, so I'm definitely going to be reading both. And then for the prompt of Heritage, which is reading a book by an author from a non-Spanish speaking country / heritage, I chose the book Dear Haiti, Love Elaine by Micah and Maritza Moulet, and they're both Haitian authors, and they're sisters, which is really fun. And it is about 17-year-old Elaine who gets suspended from her Miami school after a mishap happens in one of her school presentations, and she gets shipped off to Haiti for 2 months to do a spring volunteer immersion project. So I'm very excited to learn more about this, or about that, and I pre-ordered this book, and I'm very excited to grab it because I get postcards with it, so I'm like very, 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 very excited to see all those kind of fun stuff. And the only other book on my TBR is The Grief Keeper, which fulfills the #Latinx Lit Takeover challenge on our prompt list, and I'm very excited to read this book. I've been saying it for the past how many Latinx-A-Thon videos I've made, but it's a book that's actually been on my want to read list for like a year. It is like a sapphic sci-fi immigration speculative fiction novel. And that was a really long run-on sentence, but that's what I've seen people describe it as, and I'm very hyped for it. And for all the books on my TBR list that I definitely want to finish, I do have additional kind of add-ons that I might get to if I have time. So I quickly want to go over those really fast because I think they sound really, really interesting. So the first is actually just a collection of poems, and this would actually fulfill the voices prompt, and that is the poems from Nezahualcóyotl. And he was a pre-Columbian poet king, and he was not a fan of human sacrifices allegedly, and instead revered the gods, fasting, incense, and flowers. And he was a poet king, and the reason I want to read this collection of poetry of his is because he's thought of as one of the greatest like New World poets and writers, and yet I just want to learn more and know more about New World poets, basically pre-Columbian era. Another book that I might check out if I have time is called The Iliac Crest by Cristina Rivera Garza, and this fulfills the prompt of Roots if I get to it. And it is a Mexican Gothic feminist ghost story. There is body doubles, ghosts, and a lonely asylum by sea, and it's actually a response to the rising femicide through Latin America. And I thought that sounded very, very interesting. It came out in 2002, and I really want to get to it if I have this chance. So that's another book that I have on my back burner. The only other book that I might check out is Tell Me How It Ends, an essay in 40 questions by Valeria Lucelli, and it is a child migrant journey told through the lens of an interpreter. I think Valeria was a child interpreter in these legal cases, so I'm definitely interested in checking this book out as well, just because I think it's very relevant to today's current situation at the border and crisis. So yeah, those are the books that I'm planning on checking out for Latinxathon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and what are you gonna read? Are you gonna participate? I'm super interested in finding out and learning more. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I hope y'all have the chance to check out the Grief Keeper because our Q&A is gonna be really fun. Bye.